We didn't have a lot of things in my house as a kid, but we always had books, and I read till my eyes bled. Dashiell Hammett, Raymond Chandler, and of course, Mickey Spillane. But these weren't C. Dick Run primers. They were C. Dick Pump-Lead potboilers.
Hey, Velda, I'm on page 78. Do you have 79 on?
And Buzz McLean was right up there with them. One-Eye McGee was like a close cousin to me. When Buzz offered me $5,000 to help solve a case, it was an honor and a challenge.
Do you have any idea who did it?
Who shuffled the deck? These pages are all out of order.
Nick did. Do you know who did the murder?
Not yet. I'm finished reading.
You only have 2 pages left.
How am I supposed to know who the killer is when I can't even find the right pages? Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I got him.
I think it was a mob hit. That's why the body was so carefully disposed of. The mob's got experience.
You're not allowed to guess until you've read at least half the book.
I kind of like this, pulling clues from the book. It's kind of like that board game where you go into the room and there's either a drapery cord or a candlestick as weapons.
It's not the mob. It can't be the mob, right, Mike?
Do I have to go to the men's room to finish this in peace?
You know, I knew how Call of the Wild was going to end halfway through.
Congratulations.
It's a dog book, Nick. Dogs in dog books either die or get home, one of the two.
Okay, that's it.
Well, Mike, do you know who did it?
No, but I can see why Buzz is so frustrated. He wrote himself into a corner. No body, no physical evidence. Even the motives are fuzzy. The old One-Eye McGee has got his work cut out for him.
You mean it can't be solved?
Every case is different. There are as many ways to solve a murder as there are to commit one.
Buzz McLean's books had inspired movies, TV shows, a video game, and even a Broadway musical, not to mention 2 generations of grateful readers. But like violent movies, sometimes crime novels give people evil ideas. The fiction becomes fact. Inspiration isn't always divine. Buzz met a violent end, and now it was my job to find the author of the crime. Crime novelist Buzz McLean was now a crime statistic, and like the opening chapter of one of his books, I was on my way to the scene of the crime, where Skip Gleason was causing a scene of his own.
Tell you this, people. The chief sent out a memo specifically about crime scene units protecting the victim's property. Let's try not to break anything, okay?
You got it, Buzz.
What?
Is he okay?
Sure.
The finest of the finest.
No, we aim to please.
So how did it happen?
2 perfect rounds to the center of his back. And check out this week at a glance. Your phone number. And yesterday's date circled. Now, what do you want from you?
I had a meeting with him. He offered me $5,000 if I'd read his book.
That's it.
He needed my help. He wanted an ending.
Well, he's got one now.
Any witnesses?
No. His wife is next door.
He's a widow.
Yeah, Allie McLean.
Well, either she's deaf or someone used a silencer.
Oh, her hearing is perfect.
What else you got?
I was hoping you'd tell me. I mean, that's why I asked you down here to answer some questions. Don't start acting like this is your case.
Hey, it is my case. Buzz asked me to read his book. He said, help me out or I'm a dead man. You bet he was right. What's this? Forced entry?
Yeah, went to work on the jam. This was a pro. If we didn't see that scratch, we'd have missed the whole thing.
Did you check out the typewriter?
No.
What's this? Notice the word "the end" is typed over the blood on the paper.
My guess is a sick joke courtesy of the killer. You know, you ought to think about doing this for a living.
Very funny.
Huh, not as funny as that tip you gave me on the Yankees.
So talk to George.
Oh, I'd love to.
Where's the widow?
Like she's in shock. She's waiting for a friend to take her.
So introduce me. I'll behave myself.
Find me a coffee, a couple of donuts. Want a coffee?
Buzz once told me that his wife Allie was a hard-boiled tomato. When I found her, she was half-boiled, martini in hand.
Miss McLean?
Yes.
Mike Hammer, he was a friend of your husband's.
Yes, Hammer, private detective.
That's right. I'm sorry about what happened, Miss McLean. I wasn't that close to your husband, but I was always a fan. We shared a few beers together, and I loved listening to his stories.
I'm sorry. I still can't believe it.
Well, that's okay. We understand.
Sit down. Buzz came to see you yesterday. Why?
He wanted me to help him with his book.
Did you help him?
Apparently not enough.
Did Buzz take any notes when you talked?
Well, if he did, they were only mental notes. Listen, Miss McLean, I still feel like I owe your husband something.
Why?
Well, he wanted me to help him finish his book. He said if I didn't, he'd be a dead man.
You have the book.
Yeah. All except for the last chapter. That's the part he wanted me to help him with.
There's only 3 copies. Pat Taylor, his editor, has a copy. You have one, and I have... Wait a minute. Wait a minute. The cops asked me if anything was missing. I never even thought to look for the book.
Do you have it?
It's gone. Somebody clipped it.
I wouldn't touch anything if I were you. Skip!
What is it?
They took a manuscript. My husband's latest book. It was here.
Let you in there.
Okay, you've done your job. Very impressive. Now, would you let me in there?
I can't, ma'am. I have orders.
Is this the person you were waiting for?
Yeah, let her in.
Let her in.
All right.
Kelly, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I heard about it on the news. Are you okay? What happened?
Buzz was murdered, Pat. Somebody killed him last night.
Oh, my God. This is terrible.
Are you Pat Taylor?
Yes. I was Buzz's editor. So, who are you?
Mike Hammer. I'm a private investigator. I was working for Buzz. Matter of fact, I still am.
Look, Captain, I might know something that can help you. Somebody broke into my office today and took a manuscript of Buzz's new book.
All right, Miss Taylor, we'll take your statement. Follow me.
Guess they got Buzz's copy, too.
It's a strange coincidence. Apparently, I'm the only guy that's got a copy.
Apparently.
How come? Why didn't you run off more copies at the office?
Because Buzz was really anal about his writing. Until he was finished, he never let anybody see a rough draft. He was afraid it'd be floating around town.
Uh-huh. What can you tell me about Pat Taylor?
Pat Taylor, editor of Genius. A couple of years ago, she was a grad student and wrote her master's thesis about Buzz.
It's quite a compliment.
Oh, after all, he was the dean of Pulp Fiction. Yeah, Buzz tried to play it down, but the big sap was thrilled.
Pat must have spent a lot of time with your husband.
Oh, you're as subtle as an eviction notice.
I'll make a note. We were talking about Pat.
Yes. She spent a lot of time with Buzz. After she got her degree, Buzz set her up at his publishing house. Right, she either worked hard or played hard because in no time she was running the show.
Maybe she was just good at her job. In any event, she seemed pretty upset when she came in here.
Oh, you'd cry too if you just lost $1 million manuscript.
So tell me, how long have you been president of the Pat Taylor fan club?
No, I mean, the doll's trouble. Look, Hammer, I want you to keep that manuscript. It's safe with you. And from now on, think of me as your client because I want you to find the bastard who killed Buzz.
Don't worry, sweetheart. I'm already on the case.
My guess, it's not going to be easy. You may have to look for the Chinese angle.
Right now, I'm looking for a Chinese restaurant. I'm starving. Care to join me?
Thanks, I'll take a rain check.
The Chinese angle was old street detective jargon, lingo from the past that means a strange twist that may come into play. I guess after 3 decades with Buzz, Allie had picked up his rhythms. Pat Taylor had a few interesting angles of her own. Maybe some of them were of the Asian variety.
You know, I'm surprised I haven't seen you in here before.
I'm a loose virgin. I never heard of the place.
That is the first time I've ever heard virgin and lose used in the same sentence.
So, you're an honest-to-goodness private eye.
Well, honest, yes. Goodness, you may get an argument on that.
Yeah, well, I have a thing for private eyes. That's why Buzz fascinated me. You know, I did my doctoral thesis on Buzz.
Honest to goodness? Ally McLean says it was a master's thesis.
You are a detective. But I wasn't just lying. That was an exaggeration.
I'll put a frame on it, a lie is still a lie.
You even talk like a private eye. Perfectly cast.
Can we get a booth?
Great.
So, you thought Buzz's new novel was worth $1 million?
Right to the heart of it, huh? Okay. No, I didn't think that. He's been dry for years, but Buzz is a brand name, a franchise, and I figured it was worth a roll of the dice.
What about the last chapter?
I'm still waiting on it.
$1 million for an unfinished book? I hope those dice weren't loaded.
I gave Buzz an advance based on the percentage. My company's not out that much.
I understand you're playing your cards close to the vest, huh?
Well, I'm just being cautious.
You couldn't handle him leaving you, so you killed him, didn't you?
A Chinese angle? Maybe this was a Chinese triangle. Books aren't the only things that are bound. Now Pat Taylor was in a bind, accused of Buzz's murder.
Come on, Maxwell. That's insane.
Liar.
Hey, lighten up, pal.
I don't know who you are, pal. But I'd advise you to mind your own business.
My name is Mike Hammer. I'm a private investigator, and this is my business. I'm working for Buzz and his widow. You're Davidoff?
Maxwell. Davidoff.
Of Bellamy. Davidoff.
Excuse me.
Buzz was considering bringing his book to Maxwell.
Buzz came of his own volition. You got greedy, you killed him, and as far as I know, you probably killed my partner as well.
Maxwell, that's an old story. Your partner in the cash dash are tanned, relaxed, and laughing at you.
Mr. Hammer, is it? 5 years ago, my partner made overtures to Buzz McLean. Now, if he went with Bellamy Davidoff, Miss Taylor's publishing house would have lost its only star client. Then he disappears. Coincidence? Buzz comes to us with his hot new novel. Then he gets dead. Coincidence?
Surely you must be used to that, considering your publishing company is backed by the boys with bent noses.
How long have you two been dating each other?
Please. I came here for only one thing, to respectfully ask that Miss Taylor honor the verbal contract between Bellamy Davidoff and Buzz McLean.
You do not have his signature on a contract.
No, he was going to sign it tomorrow, but your timing was impeccable.
So what you're saying is that Buzz's death was a sound career move.
Dead cells. Poets, authors, painters, musicians. Elvis is an industry. Pat, how is your relationship with Ally McLean?
She'll take my calls.
She'll honor my contract. I didn't sleep with Buzz, which gives me an enviable advantage with Miss McLean.
Not that you didn't try.
Oh, so you're also a ladies' man.
No, I'm a flaming queen, but women find me charming. They can't help themselves. My. Look at this wine list. Cheap and tardy, just like Pat.
You're a pompous ass, Max.
And you are a cold-blooded killer. As always, Pat, it was charming chatting with you. Mr. Hammer?
Stay close to a phone. I may want to ask you some questions.
Oh, certainly, Mr. Hammer. Any friend of Ally McLean's is certainly welcome at Bellamy Davidoff. Good night.
The Bent-Nose boys. Do I detect a mob connection?
I know there's a mob connection. Does the name Jimmy Greco ring a bell?
A big one. Maxwell says you slept with Buzz. Did you ring Buzz's bell?
So I slept with him. I said I was a loose virgin, not a virgin.
Did I touch a nerve, sweetheart? Put it on my tab.
This case was beginning to have more twists and turns in the Garden State Parkway. What did Pat Taylor know about the mob?
Pat,
Leave me alone.
walk with me.
Look out! You saved my life.
Actually, I just wanted a hug.
Okay, now to figure out the end of Buzz's book and who killed the publisher, I got the following game board drawn out. Now these should be the locations of the book instead of the normal locations. Plus I got some suspect drawings here. What?
Mike has a real case to solve. Buzz is dead. We don't have time for this.
Who sketched the pictures?
I did, when we were still playing around with this.
How do you want to play this, Mike?
What you're doing is good. You're right on with this.
I am?
Could be a way to solve the murder.
It is?
Whoever killed Buzz McClane stole his manuscript from his house and probably stole the other manuscript from Pat Taylor's office. But the answer is right in here. There's something in this book that somebody doesn't want the world to know about.
But you've been through the book twice, and you said the murder can't be solved.
Now, the fictional murder can't be solved, but the real murder is another story.
I'm lost.
Yeah, me too.
All right, children, here it is. The characters in this book are not all that fictional. We've got the hot-to-trot female editor, Pat Taylor. We've got the obnoxious publisher, Max Davidoff. And we've got the two mob boys, Greco and Angelo, who just happen to own a part of Bellamy Davidoff.
Are you One Eye?
Me? No, I'm Red Eye. I just happened to get 4 minutes sleep last night.
So what's the next move?
Okay, let's play this by location. Nick, I want you to check out the book warehouse where Bellamy was murdered.
That was 5 years ago.
So you better hurry.
Like all good writers, there was a lot of fact in Buzz McClane's fiction. He based his books on real-life cases, torn from the tabloid headlines or the police archives. Buzz's murder sent me to the archives for background on a 5-year-old murder case, the murder Buzz had based his new book on. And I discovered that Thomas Bellamy was the senior partner in a publishing empire that bore his name, along with Maxwell Davidoff. But it became a household name when scandal erupted. $1 million vanished from corporate accounts, and shortly thereafter, Thomas Bellamy vanished without a trace. He lived an unrepentant life, deluded by his own wealth, believing his wallet made him impervious to retribution. Occasionally, reports would surface of sightings in the Cayman Islands, Switzerland, sometimes South America. But those who knew him swore it was murder, a murder unsolved. A murder I now had to solve if I had any chance of nailing Buzz's killer. There was little to go on. No corpse, no suspects, no clear motive. And the added handicap of passing time. Age might be good for wine, but it's lousy for crime. I couldn't turn back the hands of the clock, but I made the time to follow up on the leads I had. A mob connection to Bellamy Davidoff. I tracked my prey to a cozy spot in Little Italy, just in time for dinner.
Careful, Jimmy, don't gag.
Hey, Angelo, get a load of the new busboy, huh? Get rid of him.
Relax, Angelo. Go ahead, eat your meal. It could be your last. Buzz McClane had proof that you murdered Thomas Bellamy, so you hired a shooter to take him out.
What are you wasting my time with this foolishness, huh? I'm eating over here.
Dinner's over, pal.
You used to.
Lock du jour. Better eat your gun before it gets cold.
Look, I didn't kill Thomas Bellamy, and I didn't know Buzz McClane, and I never read any of the guy's stinking books, okay?
What's the matter, not enough pictures?
Look, if I wanted McClane dead, I wouldn't waste any bullets on the worthless hack. I'd have waited for the slob to drink himself to death.
If he was such a hack, why was your publishing company so anxious to publish his new book? Looking for a bestseller? Or was there something in there you didn't want people to know about?
My publishing company?
I'm talking about Bellamy Davidoff. You're bankrolling it.
Davidoff runs the publishing firm. I trust his taste until he stops making money. Then I fire him and hire somebody else. That's the bitter truth.
Come on, Jimmy. What's your Chinese angle? Thugs in the publishing racket? Or maybe just laundering a little drug money?
Okay. Let me give you a little advice, Hammer. Move on. Take your next case. Forget about this Buzz McClane.
Sorry, pal. I've got a short memory.
Just a little advice, Hammer. A little friendly advice.
Noted. Oh, I'm sorry. Waiter, can you give us some help over here? I think he's got a soup in his fly.
Clean me up over here.
Buzz McClane was dead, and the key to his murder lay buried in the pages of an unpublished manuscript. Everyone knows how cutthroat Hollywood can be, but we don't often think of murder when we think of books. Doesn't seem right. It's like pizza and milk. I was hoping to milk a few answers out of Maxwell Davidoff, the late Thomas Bellamy's partner.
May I help you?
I'd like to see Mr. Davidoff.
Oh, Mr. Davidoff has somebody in his office right now. But maybe I can help you. Mr.
Hammer, Mike Hammer.
Great name. I'd remember if you called and made an appointment.
Well, my phone's broken. I didn't make an appointment.
I can take care of that. How's tonight at 8? You pick the restaurant.
Sounds inviting. Can I get a cup of coffee?
And we can talk about breakfast in the morning.
You're the shy type, I see.
So how do you take your coffee?
The stronger the better. And take your time, sweetheart. I'm in no hurry.
I do like a man who takes his time.
I need to talk to you, Maxie.
How the hell did you get in here?
I got some important questions for you. Your secretary is otherwise engaged.
Make an appointment, Hammy. I'm busy.
Yeah? Let me guess. 10 is next, huh? I want some answers, and I want them fast. While you're on the floor, why don't you give me 10 push-ups? Maybe you'd like to spend your next workout in the prison weight room.
Michael, you are way out of line.
No, I'm way out of patience.
All right, I'll give you 2 minutes.
Where did Buzz McClain get information about Thomas Bellamy? Did you talk to him?
I don't know how the hell Thomas died, but if I was going to talk to a writer, don't you think I would talk to a writer who's contracted to me, not Pat Taylor?
Buzz ever mentioned Thomas Bellamy?
No.
What about Jimmy Greco? He knows who killed his partner, doesn't he?
Well, then why don't you ask Greco?
I just had lunch with him. He doesn't like to talk with his mouth full. But let's get back to you. What did Buzz talk about when he was here?
Money. He wanted me to make him what he once was, and I would have done that without reading one word of his new book. Not because I had faith in Buzz, but because I hate Pat Taylor. Quote me.
In court?
Quote me in court, pal.
All right, pal. Then tell me, who killed Buzz McClain?
Oh, Michael, it's as obvious as a one-eyed plot. Like I told you, Pat Taylor killed Buzz. Now, please, will you leave us alone? I'm paying this donkey $200 a half hour to train me.
Waste of money.
Here's your coffee, Mr. Hammer.
Well, thank you, sweetheart. But why don't you give it to the donkey? I think he could use a wake-up call. Don't get a hernia.
Come on, get up.
Maxwell Davidoff was sweating, but not from his workout, from his hatred of Buzz's editor, Pat Taylor. While Davidoff hit the showers, Nick was hitting the books. The site of Thomas Bellamy's murder 5 years ago. A book warehouse. The where I knew.
Hello?
What I needed was a who, how, and why house.
Hello? Anybody here?
The Long Road to Nowhere was the title of Buzz's last bestseller, and a fitting epitaph for this case. I was tripping over suspects, but evidence was as hard to find as a taxi in a downpour. Buzz's books were hailed for their gritty realism. Buzz's murder was as real as a heart attack. Thanks to Nick, now I had some real evidence. The assassin's motorcycle. A living link that ties Buzz's death to the murder of publisher Thomas Bellamy 5 years ago.
Hey, what you doing?
I'm just looking around. Maybe you're looking for a job. You hiring?
Yeah, maybe you looking to steal a motorcycle.
Oh, no, sir. You need dexterity and focus to ride one of these, which I don't have. Plus, the helmet messes up my hair. Are there any job openings?
The offices are over there. You wander around here without a hard hat, you could get your skull crushed.
Oh, you don't have a hard hat on?
I got a cage over my forklift.
Hey, listen, man. It's cool. My name's Nick, and I can see your name's Lonnie. Why don't you just point me to the manager? Careful with that forklift. I'm gonna run over your hair, pretty boy.
your help. You come in here again, you little jerk, I'll kill you. You hear me?
Nick's encounter with Lonnie was the fork in the long road to nowhere. Would Lonnie lead me to the killer, or was this just another blind alley?
Buzz's original manuscript. He had a thing about keeping them.
They must be collector's items by now.
Oh, I think they're worth a whole lot more now that Buzz is dead. I'll probably ship them off to his alma mater and take the right.
How sentimental of you.
You don't stay married to a pulp writer and expect chocolates on Valentine's Day.
Not even flowers?
Not unless I pick them.
Back Streets. Yeah, I read this. Wasn't this his last book?
Turned out to be. And over here in this drawer, we have the first One-Eye McGee book. Gilgan the Magician.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you something. Are you going to keep the Buzz McLean series with Pat Taylor, or are you going to change publishers?
Well, that would be an agent's decision. When I sign one.
Max Davidoff thinks he's on the inside track.
No, he's still in the running. But as you've already observed, I'm not sentimental. I'll sell to the highest bidder.
Even if his mistress makes a profit?
Ooh, fishing? You think a chippy like Pat Taylor can affect my pulse rate? Think again.
So, Buzz did have a mistress.
Let's see. Did I see them in bed together? No. Thank God. Did I suspect them? Well, she is a groupie and she's ambitious. And he was old and wanted to be One-Eye McGee, so I assume he had at least one eye on Pat.
And the other eye on McGee. This first book is dedicated to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's very interesting. After he met Pat Taylor, he stopped writing altogether. Any reason why?
You've done your homework.
Well, I know this. I know you were married in 1979. I know he wrote his first book in 1980. Obviously, you were an inspiration to him.
Don't overestimate my influence on Buzz's work. And don't try to imagine Pat's charms kept him from writing. He may have enjoyed the typewriter, but his glass was wet. He drank himself into oblivion.
He liked his sauce, that's for sure. Must have been a tough ride living with him, especially the last few years.
No, he was never easy to get along with. Even so, I miss the old lug.
Allie spoke with the voice of a One-Eye McGee dame, not the kind of girl you give flowers to on Valentine's Day, unless the flowers are 4 roses with water back.
Didn't appreciate you ruining my lunch yesterday. Hit him. Hit him again. Keep asking questions. Next one will take your head off.
Have some respect, capiche?
The problem with my job is once in a while I get bored. The Bentnose boys, Angelo and Greco, had left their calling card, and they were the wild card. Now I had a dead writer, a dead publisher, a suspicious editor, a gin-swilling widow, and an ass full of splinters. I hope Maya had some tweezers.
What's happening to you? Who did this to you? Oh, Mike.
Yeah.
What's happening?
I'm okay, I'm all right.
Oh, you are not looking all right to me.
I need an aspirin.
Aspirin is a poison, you know. I have something here much better for you, you know. Okay, no, that's for diarrhea. It's a Polish stuff. It's a very good one, you know. You're gonna say sniff it.
Uh-huh.
Just sniff it.
Yes. Okay, that's
To
it.
make you feel good.
Oh,
That's
got
great.
my blood going.
Wait. That's it. It's very good.
Come on.
Come on, Mike.
Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
Oh.
Mike.
One more time.
One more time.
1, 2,
3. Oh. Well, maybe I call security.
Oh, man.
Oh, you're heavy.
I'm getting too old for this.
No. You need to come to some yoga, you know.
Yeah, okay,
You
thanks,
just-
man.
Are you gonna be all right?
Have my hat, will you?
Yeah, sure, it's your heart.
Thanks, darling.
Okay, well, listen.
I appreciate your help.
Well,
Maybe you could open a store, you know?
I'll be thinking on it, but
thanks.
you have to talk to the manager, you know, because
I'll
I
do
don't
that.
have a lot of space. Well, maybe we can share it.
Oh,
The studio, you know, with me and you.
okay.
Okay, namaste, darling.
Namaste.
Are you all right?
Yeah, just get the key.
See you in the class then.
Okay, now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I should have thrown in the towel on this whole mess, but Nick and Velda had wrung out some useful leads.
Hey, Mike,
Don't ask. This is all about bad lunch matters. And I don't want to hear anybody say, well, what does the other guy look like? If I do, they're going to be severely punished.
Bad lunch manners?
You've never seen Martha Stewart angry, have you?
My cup runneth under. Oh, this is not my day. All right, let's get back to work. What did you two find out?
Well, the guy who went after Nick at the book warehouse, he wasn't that hard to find.
Yeah, Velda got an application that had the corporate insurance company's name on it.
And then I went to the nurse downstairs at the dental clinic, and I had to run an employee check. And this guy, Lonnie, he was the only male employee working there.
Cute nurse, too. She's taking me to lunch.
Is this going anywhere?
Well, yeah. See, there was a picture of Lonnie in the computer file, and I recognized him from the news about 6 years ago. The man was a convict. He's a murderer.
Bunch of do-gooders pressured the governor a few years back to parole this guy. I guess he was a poet, writing poetry for some greeting card or something.
But you see, they weren't ordinary do-gooders. They were artists, writers, and sculptors. And on the top of the list, with their picture on microfiche, arms around him,
Buzz and Allie McLean.
Yeah. You know this already?
All right, let's eliminate the mob. In spite of the carpentry lesson they laid on me, I think they're clean in this.
so that leaves Nick's Bad Boy and all the publishers.
And possibly a Chinese angle. Nick, you and I are going to go visit our bad boy Lonnie. Velda, didn't you used to go out with a guy in the publishing racket who had the hots for you?
You're not going to do that to me. The man is a human octopus. He has arms and hands everywhere.
So, take him to dinner in a public place. I'll pick up the tab.
No, he'll pick up the tab. The only thing that man has more of than hands is money.
All right, Nick. Let's go see Lonnie about a forklift.
Velda's ex went by Brent, and he had a bent for the ladies.
Please, we'll relax. We'll have a good time. You deserve it.
We do?
Hey, you deserve the best. At least you deserve better than this.
Yes, I do. But, back to Pat Taylor. Hey, easy, baby. Then there's the goods. Pat Taylor.
We once had a thing. Almost. I don't know, it was a while ago.
How long?
I don't know. A few years. Now, come on, baby. I need some loving.
Yeah? I'll tell you what you need, baby. You need a cold shower.
Nick and I made the trek to a seedy slum in a part of town the Chamber of Commerce boys would rather forget. Lonnie Hathaway drove a forklift by day and a .22 caliber motorcycle by night. I planned on kick-starting Lonnie.
Hey! What the hell are you doing?
Yo, Lonnie. Fork you.
What's your language? Did your maid skip a day?
What the hell, man? Who sent you?
I want to talk to you.
I ain't talking to no white devils.
White devil. Let's kill him.
Hey. All right. Give me a break. Okay? I'm just a little guy.
All right, who's the big guy? Greco?
All right, look. It started with Frankie the Fist.
Frankie Guzman.
Yeah, he was my cellie at Attica. When Frankie was dying of cancer, he had a lot to get off his chest.
Anything about the Thomas Bellamy murder?
Yeah,
All right, let's start there. What did he tell you?
I know where the gun is.
What gun?
What gun? The one that killed Bellamy.
Hey, that's a fat tip, bro.
Yeah, what's up with Opie over here? Look, Frankie was the assassin. He told me where he hid it, so I have it now.
Do you still have it, or did your interior decorator walk off with it?
Yeah, I have it. It's someplace safe, so don't worry about it.
Hey, great, Holmes. What do you say we give it to the cops?
Hell no! No way.
Lonnie, if Frankie pulled the trigger, who ordered the hit? Greco?
Look, I'm not saying another word. I'm not saying another word, all right? Or I'll be put away. Now, that gun is my insurance policy, and as long as I have it, I'm safe.
Outside! Lonnie, where's the gun? The gun, Lonnie, where is it?
I thought I had all the ankles covered.
Where is it, Lonnie? The gun!
Little book. In the book.
I didn't see anybody.
You still want that warehouse job? There's an opening.
So we returned to the scene of the crime. The Bellamy Davidoff warehouse housed more than unsold volumes. Somewhere buried in the boxes, a murder weapon was stashed. The gun that killed Thomas Bellamy 5 years ago. My gut told me that we just might find the murderer here as well.
Looks like somebody's already been over the books.
You think they found the gun?
I don't know. Let's split up. I'll take nonfiction, you take cookbooks.
So many books, so little time.
Hey, that's very good.
I read a lot.
I'm also a Dr. Seuss fan. I am.
Eggs and ham.
When Buzz paid me $5 grand to help find an ending to his new book, I thought I had one of those cushy gigs we all dream of. But my dream job turned into a nightmare when Buzz found his ending at the barrel of a gun. Now I had to find that gun, and I was sure Nick and I weren't the only ones looking. I also had to find a beginning. Everything said the same killer who murdered Thomas Bellamy killed Buzz McClane. But who was it? Pat Taylor? The Mob Boys? Greco and Angelo? Maybe Bellamy's partner in publishing, Maxwell Davidoff. Half the time I can't even find my car keys, but now I was in a mad dash to find a deadly needle in a haystack of novels. Luck is for saps. In my racket, you gotta do the heavy lifting.
Nick!
Found the gun?
What do you think about it? Little light reading before bedtime, Hammer?
Hey, Greco. I hear there's a lovely library in the Slammer.
No, thanks. Prefer books on tape.
I'm not surprised. You're not going to shoot an unarmed man, are you?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I am.
Goodbye, Jimmy. Nick, you okay?
Hello, Mike. Drop the gun. Drop it.
Hello, Allie. Can't judge a book by its cover, can you?
Oh, that would be a mistake. You may end up with a trash novel and miss a classic. Thank you, Mike.
For what?
For Greco. He was a genuine pest. Now I can cross him off my things-to-do list.
You're the Chinese Angle.
Who do you expect, the butler?
No. You're a much better writer than that, Allie. Buzz had the look and the name. You had the talent. It wasn't just a coincidence that the first One-Eye McGee novels came out just after you and Buzz were married. Before that, he didn't have you to write for him.
I was the one who had the idea.
Why didn't you write under your own name?
Free woman's lip, Mike. The publishing world was filled with retros like yourself. Women were dames, dolls, tomatoes, and other diminutives. But with Buzz's craggy mug on the dust jacket, the public snapped up everything I wrote.
But then your secret came out. Thomas Bellamy discovered that Buzz was a fraud and saw a chance to destroy a rival publisher's star writer. But you weren't going to let that happen, were you? You killed Bellamy.
The funny thing is, Mike, it wasn't just about the money, as considerable as that was. I loved Buzz. I didn't want to see him get humiliated in some kind of Milli Vanilli media circus.
You sure had a funny way of showing it, doll.
I loved him until he cheated on me with that little bitch.
And that you couldn't take, so that's when you stopped writing. And you drove Buzz to the bottom of a whiskey bottle.
The woman scorned. I know it's a cliche. I wish I would have written myself a better part.
It wasn't exactly a happy ending for Buzz either.
He was already dead. I mean, it was really just a mercy killing. I had to watch him suffer for the past 5 years. Every day, slopping up the booze from sundown to sunup, trying to get his eyes open and drag his can to the typewriter. Angelo! Well, Mike, you gotta go. Gotta catch a plane. Angelo here will fill you in on your future plans. I'll clip your obituary and press it in my scrapbook.
I loved him. I loved him and she killed him.
Well, you're even, sweetheart. It's all over. This is the last chapter.
Mike, what happened?
Enjoy your nap? You missed one hell of a bedtime story.
A jilted wife, an enraged lover. They say you should write what you know. Allie McLean knew jealousy all too well.
You want to see us, boss?
What's up, Mike?
I'm through! I'm finished! I've decided. No more rapping on doors, no more dodging hot lead. Here, kid, you wear the hat.
You're giving up the business. Why?
Sweetheart, after 20 years of murder, I've finally decided life is too short. Take this.
Betsy.
She'll get you a good seat on the subway. If anybody calls, tell them I'm out being happy. I'm coming. Nobody's gonna believe it.
Sorry, Mike. It's that time of the month.
Again?
I'm talking about the bills. You have to pay them.
Checks I can write.
Buzz McLean was dead and buried, but his books will live forever. Who knows, maybe right now some young boy or girl is turning pages, riveted, thrilled by the adventures of One-Eye McGee. Maybe they'll be inspired to write and not aspire to do wrong.